What's up, guys? Welcome back to GoldClassGaming. Today I'm back with another video. Today I'm doing a budget ABC deck profile. I made tons of ABC decks, and the most common question I'm universally asked is what card can they replace X card with if they are on budget? Just some variation of if I'm on a budget, what do I change to make this more affordable? Obviously, not everyone can afford cards like Engage, Bloral Sword, Dragon, Widow Anchor, Nightmare Unicorn, etc. So I decided to go through. It's actually taking the new cards we have in Dual Power, and also the new reprints we have in Dual Power, and really try and make a budget ABC deck. I gave myself a budget of $100. I feel like with $100, you can actually build a pretty you can build a budget deck and still have it be able to relatively compete at locals or regionals, maybe a YCS on a good day. But once you start going below $100 and try and build a deck on a $50 budget, you're gonna really have to start slimming those consistency cards, which you really need for a deck. But I have a 40 card main deck and a 15 card extra deck that comes out to a total of 9744, and I was actually able to still keep a lot of the staples you guys see me play in my typical ABC decks. So you actually be able to follow along with my combos and still repeat a lot of the stuff you guys see. So without further ado, I want to say one more thing. If you guys like this mat, you can get it at ImperiumDuelist.com and use code GoldClass10 for a discount. It really helps me out, and hey, it's a nice mat. Anyway, without further ado, let's hop right in the profile. We're going to start with 3 A Assault Core, 3 B Buster Drake, and 3 C Crush Wyvern. Man, I still cannot think of a reason to not max out on your pieces, especially in a deck where you're playing Machine Summon Sorceress Turbo. Just seeing pieces makes your life so much easier, because just seeing a B or an A in your hand means you can summon C off a Sorceress and then get him out on the field, etc. Also, they're lights, so they're discard fodder for Soldier, etc., etc., etc. If your opponent it's really good. You're gonna have to get super rares if I recall correctly to meet the budget requirement. Next up, you have 2 heavy mech support armor. This card is great for combos, and I like to play 2 because often you'll finish. You'll either because if you draw one, it's great. It can sometimes be useful if you also draw a Galaxy Soldier. But occasionally you'll have used your copy of armor and he'll be in your graveyard, and you will not have gotten a chance to add it back with A Assault Core. But having a second copy in your deck lets you search it out and summon it and make some kind of recovery plays should they break your board. You're gonna have to get the commons out of the Kaiba structure deck that the ABC Supers are in, but I was looking at prices on TCG players, so you're gonna get the common version of this. Next up, making their triumphant return to ABCs, you have 3 gold and 3 silver gadget. I'm still debating playing these in my actual build, but they're unquestionably a very, very affordable option. And with the advent of Platinum Gadget, they're even better now. I think Gold Gadget is 19 cents per copy, and Silver Gadget is 18 cents per copy. Those are the Dual Power, the versions from Dual Power, by the way. So you can get the Ultras from Dual Power for 19 and 18 cents a piece. With Platinum, obviously, they're also decks in the meta right now are starting to lean away from playing hand traps. So I stopped playing gadgets because I was just too tired of being summoning a gadget, having it impermanence, and then my turn ends. But with decks not playing as many hand traps now, the odds of your gadget getting impermanence or effect failure is much lower, which makes them a much more viable option. Then next up, we have 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. The reason I waited to do a budget deck profile until after Dual Power was because of the Galaxy Soldier reprint. This card usually used to cost $11, but now the Dual Power reprint costs $3. So you can basically get a whole playset now for what one copy used to cost. So absolutely, so that's a huge boost to budget ABC players who can now get cards like Galaxy Soldier in their deck. Then you have 3 copies of Solar Windjammer. With cards like Platinum Gadget now, that this card becomes much less of a brick. Before you had to open Windjammer plus Hanger plus another extender or a piece to do full combo. But now with Platinum Gadget, even if you just draw Jammer and Hanger, you still make Buster you're still able to make Buster, as well as he's level 5 for making your Nova and Infinity stuff. Also, it's a common, so it's ridiculously cheap. It's like 16 cents per copy, so there's really no point in not playing it. Because when you're on a budget, we aren't able to play extenders like Engage. We have to supplement with other stuff like the gadgets, or like Windjammer, which is not normally a card you would play in ABC. But when you have the space now, since you aren't playing stuff like Engage, you have to play stuff like this. Then we have the tried and true Symphonic Warrior guitar, and I want one copy of Symphonic Warrior mics. This card only comes common. It's like, I want to say guitar is like 30 cents per copy, and mics was like a quarter. This is all USD, by the way, so conversions may vary. But yeah, as long as you know that they're commons, it's one of the best extenders in the deck. Why not play it? I mean, you have to play it. Now, for our last monster, we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. With the Dual Power reprint, the Dual Power Ultra, and the Structure Deck Common. I think it's the Shadows and Valhalla Super and the Dual Power Common. Oh wait, in the end, there's like 2 different copies of Ash now, which are like 619, 620 range. So it's really hitting an all-time low. Great time to pick up Ash, because now you can get 3 copies for less than $20, and it makes your budget deck just that much that much better overall. But yeah, so Ash, the only handshot I'm playing. So I don't really want to play Effect Veiler, because I feel like at that point you're just losing out over a card like Infinite Impermanence. And the reason I like Impermanence so much is that I can save it for my turn to then turn off problem cards like a Negation, like a Floodgate card, like Colossus, and you just don't maintain that value with Effect Veiler. So I just decided to just not play it at all. But that is it for our monster lineup. Moving on to our spells, we have 3 copies of Union Hanger as always. The cheapest copy of this is obviously the Structure Deck Common, and then we're gonna back it up with 2 copies of Terraforming. Terraforming has like 20 printings. One of them was like 30 cents. Look around long enough on TCG Player, you'll find copies of Terra around 20, 30, 40 cents. But yeah, obviously you're playing 5 copies of Hanger because it's literally the best card in this deck. 3 copies of Call by the Grave. This card is shockingly expensive. I think the common is like $4, and then the super is like $7. But the common is $4. But luckily the budget left room for 3 Call by the Grave, because it's great for helping your combos get there. If they don't hand trap you, you can discard it off a card like. Well, like if they don't hand trap you, you can set it and then use it next turn to as a negation for a card in their graveyard. You can reset it off Griffin and draw a card. It has many possible applications. But luckily the budget left room for it barely. And for our last 3 cards, we're playing 2 copies of Instant Fusion. This is a card I've kept my eye on for a while, and I had 2 more slots left in the deck, and it was. I was originally going to have Monster Reborn and Upstart Goblin, and then I remembered that Instant Fusion existed, and I decided that, like just 2 more cards to help you get a free machine monster on the field. So I thought it was a little worthwhile just play these 2 to round out the deck, and just get a few more extenders on the board. But that is it for the main deck. Once again, that's 40 cards. Now we're going to move on to our extra deck. So obviously we're going to start off with 3 copies of ABC Dragon Buster. I think actually the secret rare for Buster is actually cheaper than the Ultra from the Rush deck, which is interesting. I'm not gonna question it. You have 1 copy of Panzer Dragon. This card is less than $1, and also your only instant fusion target. It's a machine, level 5, light, so it has all these synergy you could possibly want in this deck. It has it's the same attribute. It works with your with your Platinum Gadget and Summon Sorceress, and also it works to make your Infinity plays. And then speaking of Infinity plays, we have our Cyber Dragon Nova and our Cyber Dragon Infinity. The Infinity, I believe the cheapest copy is the Legendary Dragon Dex one at just over $2. And then Nova, I'm pretty sure his common printing at like 30, 40 cents. It's pretty cheap. But yeah, once again, you have so many ways to make Nova and Infinity. There's really no reason not to play them, especially if you can afford them. And then next up we have our Geardian X, because if you remember my combo video from late last year, you'll know that a gadget and Union Hanger can still get you a full Buster Griffin board if you go through Geardian X to search out your Symphonic Warrior guitar. And then onto our Link monster lineup, we have a Borlo Dragon. It's once again, its dual power reprint has dropped the price from like $20 to like $8. So it's much more affordable now. It's a great Link 4. Like obviously it's not Boral Sword Dragon, but it's still a really good Link 4, and you should absolutely not be sleeping on Borlo Dragon. Next up, we have a Nightmare Griffin. This is actually the most expensive card in the deck. It's like $10, but once again, everything else was cheap enough to leave room for a copy of Nightmare Griffin. And I'd be remiss if I didn't include Nightmare Griffin, because there's how many combos revolve on you just making Buster and Griffin, and just watching your opponent crumble under plays of Skill Drain and Dragon Buster. So I was really glad. I'm really glad I was able to fit Nightmare Griffin in here. And then you have a Summon Sorceress for combos. I think it's her Soul Fusion Special Edition reprint, where she's super, is like less than $2, and she's amazing for combos. And then we have our Nightmare Phoenix and our Nightmare Cerberus. These cards are like $3 and $2 each, but it's fine. You have room for those. And then now we're going to be doing our Clifford, our ultra rare Clifford Genius. It makes me so happy to see this card is ultra rare. And ironically enough, the cheapest copy is the ultra rare at like 30 cents. The Extreme Force is like $1 now, which is crazy. But yeah, so you can pick up your copy of Clifford Genius for under 50 cents. It's an ultra rare. It's the card you're going to use to climb into Summon Sorceress and do all your really insane plays. Then we have our copy of Platinum Gadget, the new boy to the deck. Obviously, he's I think like a little over $1 right now, and he turns. So the way I describe him is, any two machine monsters, as long as any machine monster and Union Hanger, right? Any machine monster that can summon itself for free and Union Hanger equals Buster. So like Windjammer plus Hanger, Buster. Galaxy Soldier plus Buster is Hanger. Instant Fusion plus wait. So any combination of Solar Windjammer, Galaxy Soldier, or Instant Fusion, any one of those cards and Union Hanger will get you Platinum Gadget and Buster. Obviously, if you draw a Gadget or a Symphonic Warrior guitar with your Union Hanger, you're able to then go into your full combo through Clifford Genius to do your Buster Griffin plays. But Platinum Gadget really just kind of brings up the rear and absolutely just kind of minimizes your like brick hands. Like, I remember at YCS Pasadena when I was playing Solar Windjammer, I would get really frustrated when I would just draw Windjammer and Hanger and nothing else, and then have no plays because I couldn't do that. Platinum Gadget makes that a non-issue because just because his effect to summon a piece from your hand means that you will be able to make Buster with those hands that previously were kind of finicky and didn't quite work out. So I'm a huge fan of him. Then for our last card, we have our Galaxy Soul Flare Dragon. Obviously, you're playing Infinity. Our entire deck is lights. This Soul Flare Dragon just makes makes making Buster and Infinity so much easier. I love this card. But yeah, so that's going to be the deck profile. Once again, that's 40 in the main, 15 in the extra deck. I didn't make a side deck because I just didn't have the budget for it. But that's gonna be on you guys to figure out what you have around and also what you can afford. But in the end, you have a pretty competent main and extra deck for $97.44 US. Once again, that may change based on your country's currency, and also that does not include shipping. But so you can buy all these cards from TCG Player for $97.44. So if you can try and find them from all from one seller to get free shipping, or you can wait for a sale to then make up the cost of shipping, I think you'll absolutely be able to get this for under $100. But anyway, if you guys like this video, please leave a like and comment down below. It really helps me out. And if you guys want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit subscribe. I try to upload once or twice a week, maybe more if I have free time. But other than that, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.